Well, great news, guys. 2 priority bills from Iowa gun owners have just been referred to Judiciary Committee subcommittees by Chairman Steve Holt. These bills can begin to move very quickly. Aaron Dorr here, guys, with the Iowa gun owners. I'm going to break these 2 bills down for you guys just a moment. But before I do anything else, and before you do anything else, please hit the link below and send not 1, but 2 pre-written emails to the members of the House Judiciary Committee urging quick action on these bills. So we're talking about House File 668 and House File 430. These are both IGO bills filed last session that are moving now in the subcommittee process here in Des Moines. The first bill provides critical enhancements to our self-defense laws. The second bill would finally and forever ban red flag gun seizures here in Iowa. Let me break them down for you. HF 668, filed by Representative Sam Wengren, is very similar to House File 945 from last session. It is enhanced stand your ground law that would do 4 primary things. It would fix or plug 4 primary gaps in Iowa's current stand your ground law protections. Number 1, it grants gun owners the presumption of innocence in the wake of a self-defense shooting. Believe it or not, right now in Iowa, if you use your firearm in a self-defense situation, in the eyes of the law, you're guilty, and we have to then prove our innocence in a court of law. And that gives all the leverage to the county attorney, and it puts all the expense on us. In about 20 other states, they have reversed that. They have granted the presumption of innocence to gun owners, which is what it should be, because we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in this country. And we are, if we get stopped for speeding on 235, but we're not presumed innocent if we use our firearm in a self-defense situation. We're going to fix that with this bill. Number 2, it allows gun owners to finally assert stand your ground law in a pre-trial immunity hearing. Right now, because of the way stand your ground law was done in 2017, and because of opinions from the Iowa State Supreme Court, for the most part, you can only invoke stand your ground law in Iowa in the appellate process. That means after you're convicted, after you're likely bankrupt from criminal defense lawyer fees, after you've been found guilty, your neighbors think you're a killer, you've lost your job, your marriage is hanging on by a thread. After all of that, then you get to invoke stand your ground law. That's crazy. And we're going to have a pre-trial hearing if this bill becomes law, in which case your lawyer goes to the judge and says, Your Honor, yeah, my client shot the guy or the gal, whatever. Here's the reason why, and here's the evidence which shows the force was justified. And if the judge agrees, you walk out the door right then, a free man. No 12 to 24-month criminal trial. You're done right there, free to go. Number 3, this bill requires there to be probable cause going forward before someone could be arrested at the scene of a self-defense shooting. Now, in many jurisdictions, that's already being done by practice. But in some cases, what happens is someone's been shot, somebody else is still standing and has a gun back in their holster, and they get arrested just because. And what happens when you're arrested just because and you're brought downtown, proverbial brought downtown, and you're questioned, is that your mind's going 100 miles an hour, your body's got a massive adrenaline dump going through. You've just been through a life and death encounter, and then in that situation, you get interrogated because you, quote unquote, shot and killed somebody. Well, yeah, you shot and killed somebody, but it was justified. Now, in Iowa, for the most part, when law enforcement officers have to use their firearms, they have several days after a shooting before they get questioned by their own department. Days to clear their mind, come off the adrenaline dump, collect their thoughts, talk to a lawyer, and then make a rational, coherent statement. We don't have that here in Iowa as gun owners individually. And so at a bare minimum, there should be probable cause before someone's arrested at the scene of an incident. This bill would require that as well. And finally, it covers the threatened and actual use of force. Think back to the Mark McCloskey case in Missouri a couple of years ago. Huge riot of crazy people. Cops wouldn't come because St. Louis wouldn't dispatch them. Mark McCloskey, famous situation, has his pink polo shirt holding his AR-15. Wife has her handgun. Famous scene. You've all seen it before, right? They didn't get Mark on anything other than the threatened use of force, because they said, well, you threatened to kill people. Well, yeah, he said, I did, but it was justified. We're going to clarify in the code here in Iowa that the threatened use of force, if it was justified, is also covered by our self-defense laws, because most cases involving an attack and a gun owner end when the bad guy sees the gun in your hand and he runs away. We want to cover that threatened, justified use of force. So that's the first bill, HF 668. Again, been assigned a subcommittee. It's going to move very fast, we think, here in Des Moines. The second bill is House File 430. It's sponsored by IGO's longtime bill sponsor, Jeff Shipley. And this bill would ban red flag gun seizures in Iowa forever. You've all heard about these. They're terrible. We have one filed right now by Senator Art Stade. And what it basically does, the red flag bill would do, is somebody calls you in, says you could be dangerous. The evidence they get to use is the recent purchase of firearms or ammunition. So if you go to a gun show or go to a gun shop and buy a gun, you've just done things that could get you, you seem suspicious, could get you disarmed for a lifetime. We've all seen other states adopt these. You lose your guns before you've been charged, indicted, arrested, or convicted of anything. It shreds due process. It's totally evil stuff. We want to ban them here in Iowa once and for all. This bill would do exactly that. It does three main things. Number one, it requires the adjudication of a criminal court case, a felony conviction for a violent felony crime or other certain criteria before your firearms could ever be seized. So the days of someone calling you in, your ex-spouse, saying you could be dangerous, and some liberal judge, because they're all liberal judges these days, issues that seizure order in an ex parte hearing, those days would be gone. You would be guaranteed to have your day in court, to have a conviction in court before your guns could be taken away here in Iowa. Number two, we're going to put penalties into this law because we know what's going to happen, right? We had so many jurisdictions in the COVID era who would violate state law flagrantly. They couldn't care less. That's only going to increase. This is a red state, but try telling that to our blue cities, right? So if we don't have penalties in our gun laws, the localities will very likely ignore them. And that's why we're going to have a penalty section in HF 430, where if a jurisdiction would violate the law and enforce a judicial or federal red flag law against you, they could be hit by you. You could on your own initiative take them in a civil court for damages for $50,000 per occurrence. In that way, you have all the power to defend your own rights. You don't have to count on the governor or the attorney general or anybody else, as good as they may be. We don't know how long we're going to have them, right? This allows you to protect your own rights with a civil penalty against the department, not against any individual officers, just to be clear on that. And number three, it ensures that no judge here in Iowa could ever again use these secret ex parte proceedings to take away our firearms. This is a major step forward for gun rights, as is the prior bill. The ban on red flags is actually spreading right now across Red America. Our sister organization, Wyoming Gun Owners, was the first state to enact a ban on red flags with penalties in Wyoming in 2024. The last session, 2025, Montana and Texas both followed suit with their own ban on red flags, and now it's our turn. So the danger here on both these bills is two things. Number one, crazy freaking Democrats who hate gun owners. And number two, any harmful amendments that may be offered on this bill. Now, when it comes to amendments, we are already moving an amendment of our own with Chairman Holt on one of these bills to make it even better than what it is right now. That's no problem. The concern is harmful amendments from a moderate member or from an out-and-out crazy Democrat. We have to guard against that. We also have some of the gun control organizations here in Des Moines lining up against the bill. We have Iowans for Gun Safety. I think they still exist. Their lobbyists still declared against the bill. We have the Dubuque Coalition for Nonviolence. They don't like any violence. Well, some people need violence. Some people need to be stopped to defend our loved ones, to defend our families. And number three, we have elements of the medical lobby that have also declared against the bill on the state's official website. The thing is, these bills were referred a couple of days ago. My guess is we're going to see a lot more anti-gun lobbyists declare against these bills in the coming days. So guys, help us out. Hit the links below and send not one, but 2 pre-written emails into the committee today. The emails tell the committee, hey, move the bills, no weakening amendments, get it done and get it to the floor for a final vote. There's 2 links, one for each bill. You got to send both pre-written emails. I talk to gun owners basically every day all across the state, and many of them say kind of what I feel right now as well, which is that we're in the calm before the storm right now here in Iowa and frankly in America, that someday, maybe soon, maybe not soon, the Democrats will regain control in D.C., including the White House. And when that day comes, the Democrats are going to unleash on gun owners in ways that will probably make us miss Joe Biden and the gentle tyranny of sleepy Joe Biden. That's how bad it's going to be when this pendulum swings back. That's going to happen. I don't know when. None of us know when. But that's why it's critical that right now we lock in all the freedom we possibly can here in Iowa while we still can. So again, guys, help us out. Help us at number 1, fire off your emails. Number 2, if you can, chip in $10, $20, $100, whatever. Help us get the word out. At number 3, share this broadcast with every gun owner you know. It's on X, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Get the word out, guys. Things move very fast here in Des Moines. Take action right away, and we'll keep you informed.